Hello and welcome back to Bristol. We're playing the same characters as last time. I'm going to be the friar, which is the yellow pawn, and I'm starting out with these two remedies. We have arsenic on the top of both cards, and on the bottom of this card, is it the same actually? No. Okay, we got pomander, which allows you to draw 2 extra symptoms and keep any 2 of the 4. Discard the other 2. And leeches lets you draw 2 symptoms and add either one to any card's mingle area. Discard the other. Okay, let's begin by rolling the dice. All right, so birch begins with 2 apples, cedar with 2 rats, and oak with a rat and an apple. And for anyone who doesn't know what this game is about, this is happening during the Black Plague in the city of Bristol. We're racing to get to exit the city, and I need to be I need to exit the city on a cart, either by myself or with someone or 2 other people who are not infected. We are infected if we have 6 or more symptoms. Right now, I have 4 symptoms: a headache, which is 1 symptom, and chills, which is 3 symptoms. So I have 4 total symptoms. If I have 6 or more, I become infected and lose the game. So we'll hopefully not let that happen. Everyone else also has 2 symptom cards. I don't know what their symptom level is. So right now I'm in the birch cart with the red player, which is the knight. So let's see what happens. Red is going to go first because they are on the first in line cart. The birch is the first in line, or they start first on the starting block. So the red knight is going to go first. Because the next closest one is the birch cart, they're going to re-roll 1 of the red or cedar dice. Okay, which helped us out. Next, clockwise, is going to be the countess. She's the purple pawn. She's going to re-roll a birch dice. Did not do anything, but it was an apple, and anytime one of the AI or ghost players rolls an apple, they move up 1. So she moves from the cedar cart into our cart. Next is going to be me. I'm going to re-roll, let's see, I'll re-roll both oak, which is the brown cart. I'm going to re-roll both of those. Okay, good. So we have another apple for birch and another rat, or the same rat for the oak cart. Now it is the sheriff's turn. He's gonna re-roll just 1 of these because it's the furthest cart ahead of him. And what did he get? A rat. Oops. Okay, so this is bad for my cart, the birch cart, because whenever you have 2 rats of 1 color, the cart of that color has to mingle. Everyone in that cart has to mingle, which means we have to draw a symptom card, mix it together with all our symptoms, and then randomly, give each other our symptoms back. So what I'm going to do, you know what, I don't even think I can do this right now because it's not my turn anymore. I was going to play leeches, but I can't because it's no longer my turn. Because it's the end of the sheriff's turn. So we're just going to have to mingle. So we do that before we move the carts. So we add 1 symptom card to a pile, and we have to put both of my symptoms there, symptom cards. We put all of the everyone in that cart, all the symptom cards of everyone in that cart go into this pile. So the Countess is the purple, now red for the knight. These all get shuffled together. All right, now we draw 2, so I'll put 2 on my guy, 2 under the Countess, and 2 under the knight. And then the last one is discarded. We don't know what that is. Now let's look at ours. Let's see if we are infected. 1, which is good, and 2. Okay, so we went down actually, so that actually helped us. But we're in a cart now with 2 other characters that have been mingled, and we suspect that they may be infected. There is a higher chance, a higher probability that they are infected now, and we don't want to cross the finish line with them. But let's move the carts, because we have finished all the preliminary steps to doing that. So now let's move the cart. The birch cart moves 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. The cedar cart moves 1, and the oak cart moves 1. And because the cedar cart starts off in second place ahead of the oak cart, even though they're at the same space, for the reasons of the rules, the cedar cart is still ahead. So now let's roll the dice and start round 2. Okay, so we have 2 apples for birch. We have, what else do we have? Oh, okay, we actually have a rat for birch, 2 apples for cedar, and a rat for oak. So let's see, the red is still in first place, so he's gonna roll one of the next in line carts, which is cedar. He's gonna roll theirs. Okay, he gave us a rat, which is not good. We'd rather have an apple so we don't have to mingle again. Next is me. So let's see what I want to do. I definitely want to keep the movement of 4, but I don't like having that rat there. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm going to use so I don't want to lock 2 dice. I think I'm going to use the leeches to do the symptom ahead of time. So I'm going to draw 2 symptoms. So you see that I'm going to draw 2 symptoms and add either one to any cart's mingled area, discard the other. So I'm going to do that, but maybe before I do that, I want to, let's see. I'm going to elbow my way up to first place. That's my main action, because these remedy cards are not, they don't really count as an action. They're kind of like a bonus. So now I'm going to use the leeches to draw 2 symptom cards. Alright, I'm going to discard the 4, and we're going to add this to our to the Mingle deck when we get to that step. We're not at that step yet. So so red went first. Hang on. I think I went too far ahead there. So we did the red first. Let's do the Countess next. She's gonna do birch. Okay. So she would have, because I think I skipped her, so she would have gone ahead of me. And that would have placed me in last place on this cart. Okay. And then I'll still do my move of moving up. I elbow my way up, I think all the way up to the front. So it's still that same effect, and then I would have done that same thing where I do the Mingle card. Okay. Let me double check the movement ability. Yeah, all the way up to in front of the all other pawns in your card. Okay, so I did that right. Okay. So I'm going to discard the leeches because I used that card. Let me move everything. Okay. So keep going clockwise. I did my turn, kind of out of order, but whatever. Going on to the sheriff now. He's going to want to re-roll one of ours. And so he's going to mingle also on his own. So now we do the mingle step. We do ours first. I already drew a card ahead of time. We know it's a 2, so it's less likely that at least that I'll get infected, hopefully. It's better than having a 4 that we got discarded. All right, let's shuffle. All right, do 2 to me, 2 to the Countess, 2 to the Knight, and then 1 to the discard. Let's see what we have. A 1 and a 1. Oh, so even better. That's great. So we have as few symptoms as you can possibly have. So now we do the movement. So the birch cart is going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cedar doesn't move at all because there's no dice for it. And oak is going to... Oh, we have to... Let's move it 2. 1, 2. And now let's do the mingle for oak. We should have done that before movement. We forgot, but it's all right. Okay, we'll discard the top one. Put these 2 underneath. Okay, so we already did the movement, so now let's go on to round 3. Okay, so we have 2 apples and a rat for birch. We have 1 rat for cedar and 2 apples for oak. First player is me because we're going this way. So now I'm the first player. I'm going to re-roll these 2. Actually, hang on. I don't want to do that. That was a rat and a apple. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to draw a remedy card. Let's see what we get. Oh, good. Whip. I wanted that. Whip prevents someone from dashing to your card, elbowing past you, or pushing you, which is good. I want that. And Pomander allows you to draw 2 extra symptoms and keep any 2 of the 4. Discard the other 2. To draw 2 extra symptoms. Okay. Yeah, the rules aren't really clear on when that can happen. Is that only on my turn, or is that like the leeches when I can do that in place of a mingle drawing? It's kind of not clear there. Anyways, so that was my turn. Now let's move on to the sheriff. The sheriff is going to roll 1 of ours, and they go for an apple before rat. It makes an apple for cedar, but because he drew an apple, he actually moves and replaces the Countess. He moves up and replaces 1. So good for him. Now let's go on to the knight. The knight is going to, because the oak is the next in line, he's going to re-roll an oak. Made a white apple, which is good for our cart, but that makes him move ahead of me. I'm not going to use the whip yet. I would use the whip if it would kick me out of the cart. Now let's move on to the Countess. She's going to do the same. She's going to roll the oak. Oh, no, wait. She's not. She's going to roll the birch, because it's the one ahead of her. And it gives apple to cedar. And because she rolled an apple, she moves up one. So she replaces the blue guy. So they kind of trade spaces a couple times. Okay, so everyone has gone because I went first, because I was in first, but then red switched with me. There are only one rat in two of the cards. There's not two rats, so there's no mingling, so we're just going to move. Birch moves 2. Cedar moves 3. 1, 2, 3. And oak moves 1. I think oak still is ahead because you go by what was happening last turn. So oak is still ahead of cedar. Okay, let's go on to the next round. Okay, a lot of cedar. So, oh, cedar has 3 rats and an apple. Birch has 1 apple, and oak has 1 apple. So red goes first. So red is going to roll the oak, because it's next in line, and made it into a rat. Next is going to be the Countess. She's going to do the same thing. Makes it into a rat. Next is me. Let's see. You know, we have a good distance. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move up again instead of rolling anything, because I don't want to get kicked. Let's see. Do I want to use the... I'll use the arsenic to lock those 2 dice there so that the blue guy can't re-roll one of them. So because he can't re-roll one of those, he's going to go on to, you know, whatever he can do. Oh, and he gives us, unfortunately, he gives us a rat, which is not good. Kind of backfires on what I did. Well, that's unfortunate. So that's it for the turns. Now let's, so cedar is going to mingle, but there's no one in cedar, and birch is going to mingle. So it's going to be me, along with the Countess and the Knight. Alright, well, this is scary. At least we know there are 2 1s in here. But this is worrisome for me. I don't want a 4. Okay, so let's give our 2. 2 for the Countess. 2 for the Knight. Oops. Okay, 2 for the Knight. And then 1 for the discard. Let's see what we got. A 1 and a 1. Oh, good. We still have our 1s. Well, that's good. Okay. So now let's move. 3 for birch. 1, 2, 3. And 3 for cedar. 1, 2, 3. Now let's roll the dice for the next round. Oops. Okay, we have 3 apples for birch, which is really nice. And we have 2 rats and an apple for oak. I am in the lead, so I go first. And you know what? I'm going to kick or push, I forget what the term is, but I'm going to get rid of someone from our cart, and that's going to be this one, and she goes not to the next cart, but she goes all the way to the back. Because I don't know how infected they are, so I want to get rid of both of them, really, so that I don't have to worry about that. So I got rid of him, or got rid of the Countess. That's my turn. I'm not going to use anything here, so we'll keep going clockwise. Next is the Sheriff. He's going to re-roll one of ours. And he rolls a rat. Next is the Knight. He's going to roll one of theirs, starting with an apple. Alright, keeps it as an apple. Next is the Countess. She's going to roll one of ours. Makes a cedar rat. And comes back to me, but I'm not going to. So now, let's move. Birch moves 2. 1, 2. Cedar moves 1. And oak moves 3. 1, 2, and 3. Stays right behind cedar. I should have done this first. Oak has to mingle. So that's going to be the Sheriff and the Countess. Okay. Whoop, whoop. Okay. 2 for the Countess. And 2 for the Sheriff. And then 1 gets discarded. Okay. So we already moved them. We should have done mingling first. Okay, no birch. So we have 3 cedar rats, 2 oak apples, and 1 oak rat. I start first. So, I don't want to get out of this. I don't want to leave the city with the Knight because he's mingled a few times. So I'm gonna kick or push, or whatever the term is, to get rid of this guy, and he goes very dead last. Now I'm in this cart all alone, but I don't have any movement this turn. But they're gonna move now, or they're gonna roll, and hopefully I'll get some birch rolls out of that. So let's go on to, we go clockwise. Sheriff, he's gonna roll. Well, there's none of me, and there's no birch, so he's going to roll red. There's no apples to roll, so he's going to roll a rat. And it stays a rat. Next is the Knight. He's going to do the same thing. Alright, gives me an apple. And next is the Countess. She's going to do the same. And I got very lucky. I got 2 apples. Oh, but so wait, the Knight did an apple, so he moves up 1, and the Countess did an apple. She moves up 1. So they kind of sabotage their own cart in a way. So now we move on to movement, and 1, 2, I win. But let's keep going. They move 1. They don't mingle, and he goes 1, 2, 3, no mingle. And so I actually won this time with 2 symptoms, which is the lowest you can have, which is nice. Let's just for fun see what the others had. So blue came in second. Let's see if he was infected. He was not infected, but I was never really in the cart with him, so that I'm not really worried about him. I was in the cart with the Knight and the Countess, so let's see if they were infected. See Knight first. No, Knight was not infected, so I could have kept the Knight inside the cart, And let's see the Countess. Oops. 2. And wow, no one was infected. That is interesting. Huh. Okay. So I could have won with any of them. Or could have kept any of them in the cart with me and could have won. But anyways, that was Bristol 1350. And it is now time to recite the litany of the meme. The night is dark and full of terrors, but I know that we will live long and prosper, for the force will be with us always against the forces of he who must not be named. As we remember to keep it secret, keep it safe, until the day we assemble in the name of Muad'Dib. So say we all.